Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching. For those of you that are new, my name is Mark and I am gay and I am also a dad. Today I'm going to be taking you through a Q&A of all of the questions that you guys who have been watching the videos have been sending in. I last did a Q&A session just after Sophie turned 3 months, so I covered off the first sort of 3 months of being a dad, and now this time I've asked people to put in questions for 3 to 6 months, so the next sort of stage, as it were. I just want to add in here, you might hear noises coming from off camera. Sophie is in her bouncer next to me and it might occasionally make noise, or she might occasionally make noise, so hey, the joys of being a stay-at-home dad, eh? So I'm going to jump right in. Now, I've had questions on YouTube and I had questions on Instagram. So I'm going to go through them. I'll do all the YouTube ones first and then I'll do the Instagram ones, but they're in no real particular order. So I'm just going to literally read off the questions and give you the answer. So the first one came from Glenn Philbrook. Thank you for your question. How is Sophie interacting with other babies? To be honest, she's been really good. I mean, the only time she's really with other babies, or people of a similar age, should I say, is during baby sensory classes. And at the moment, she's okay. I wouldn't say she overly interacts with them. She tends to just kind of look a bit nervous, maybe. She'll look around the room and she can see all the other children, but there isn't that much of an interaction, as it were. Sometimes she might give them a bit of a smile, but for the most part she just kind of stares, and I think she's trying to work out like facial expressions and things like that. So she's not giving us any problems with interacting with other children, but I wouldn't go so far as to say she's having any sort of meaningful interactions. We have got friends that have got a 2-year-old, and now that she's used to being around him, she tends to be a little bit more interactive and they giggle at each other and he obviously talks to her and she murmurs back. The next question comes from Sarah Presley and she asked, what is Sophie's daily routine now that she is older? Her daily routine really hasn't changed that much, to be honest. She tends to wake up pretty regular as clockwork at 6 in the morning. And she normally has a feed pretty soon after. She'll stay awake for a couple of hours and then she normally goes back down for a nap between 8 and 8:30. Then she'll wake up again around about 10:30, 11 o'clock, ready to have another feed. Then she'll stay awake probably 2 to 3 hours in the afternoon. She is awake a lot longer, till sort of 4 or 5, and then either she has a nap or she'll just go through to her next feed. Then she'll have like an evening nap, and then again she's back up around about 8:30 for her last feed of the day, and then she's asleep. Most nights now she is sleeping through. Touch wood. Because, you know, we waited quite a while for the sleeping through, and so, but most nights now she is pretty much sleeping through. The next question comes from Lesley Johnson. And she asks, what are your future plans? Are you going to continue to be a stay-at-home dad, or will you be looking at childcare options to allow you to go back to work? So with the going back to work, obviously at the moment this is still very early in the looking at financial options. The plan has always been for me to go back to work. At the moment we're just looking at how much the childcare options are. So I was commuting into the city every day for work, so I would usually leave around about 7 AM and I probably wouldn't be home till 7 PM. So that's a long 12-hour stint that I'm away, and Dad and Mark's hours are not too dissimilar, so he would also be away similar hours. So we would be putting Sophie into childcare for 12 hours every single day, which obviously is going to be very, very expensive, I imagine. So at the moment we've not made a decision. We are still looking at it, and I'm sure I'll cover that a little bit more maybe in the Daddy Diaries. Obviously I'm only 6 months of the way through the year off of work that I'm having, we have a little bit more time to have that conversation. But thank you very much for your question, Lesley. The next question comes from Natasha Lee, and she asked, what are the most challenging milestones you've faced so far and the most rewarding parts of the journey? So I think the most challenging milestone we've had so far, it's kind of a flip up between the getting her to sleep through the night, but I think teething tops it. I think getting through the teething stage, I don't know if it's a milestone per se, but getting through that has been quite challenging, because obviously you can tell that she's upset, she's distressed, and that upsets us because we can't stop the pain. We can do things to try and help. We've been using Dentinox teething gel and it's been an absolute godsend. It calms her back down again and seems to really help her. We can just about feel the tooth in there at the moment. Like, you can literally feel it breaking through. You can feel the point of the tooth. So we're hoping in the next few weeks, obviously as the first one comes through, it might get a little bit easier for her. But I'd say that's probably the most challenging milestone so far. And in terms of rewarding parts of the journey, I have said it before in my daddy diary, I think the most rewarding thing out of everything is when she smiles at us. So when you go in first thing in the morning and you go to get her up and she'll lay there and she makes eye contact, the smile you get is the most rewarding thing in the world, because it's just this bright, beaming smile. She knows you're there and everything is right with her world almost. So I'd say that's probably the most rewarding, but all of it's rewarding, whether it's smiles, when she giggles, when she finishes a feed. Obviously we are weaning now and she loves her food, but she gets excited because obviously we help celebrate it, and so that's rewarding when she gets through a bowl of food and you're just like, God, yes, go on, yes, you've got this. And so with each little achievement, it's all very, very rewarding. So thank you very much for your question. The next question comes from Georgina Otter, and she has supplied me with 3 questions, so thank you very much, Georgina. The first one was, how much does Sophie weigh now? She's now coming in at about 16 pounds. She also asked, is she sitting up yet? She is. She can't necessarily lift herself up, but once she's up with a little bit of assistance, she'll quite happily sit there for a good few minutes before her weight starts going, and she'll lean for something and realise that she's not quite holding herself. So she can sit up, but she's not quite independently sitting up or lifting herself up to it. And how is solids going? Well, as I mentioned, she's doing great on solids. She's doing fantastic. She loves her food, and like I've said it in the daddy diaries, that she just literally launches herself at the spoon when she wants the food. So we couldn't really complain about it. I think she's doing a really good job. The final YouTube question comes from Night Wanderer, and she asked, how is the teething going? And obviously I mentioned it previously just when I was talking about milestones, but yeah, the teething's going okay. It's quite tough. Obviously, I think the biggest thing is because she's upset, she's in pain, and there is very little we can do besides giving her the teething gel or possibly teething crystals. We've avoided giving Calpol as a pain relief type thing, just because at this point she doesn't seem to need it. We give her the Dentinox, that covers it, and so she's okay. So moving on to the questions that came from Instagram, people on the Instagram side of things. BMSimmonds asked, what is your favourite trait of hers? I think at the moment my favourite trait is probably her fear of missing out. Because it just makes me laugh. She has a definite case of FOMO, particularly if people come round and she knows that we have guests round, she doesn't want to sleep. She makes it very, very difficult for nap times if she knows that people are here or there's things going on. If we go out somewhere, she doesn't want to sleep. She wants to look at the world. She wants to see everything. So it's quite hard. Everyone says, oh yeah, you can take her out, put her in a buggy and walk around until she falls asleep. Doesn't really happen very often. If I'm honest, it really doesn't happen very often. Same as in the car. She's too obsessed with watching the world outside of the car window to sleep. She really seems to have a thirst to explore the world around her, so she doesn't like to miss out. So that's probably my favourite trait so far. The next question comes from Welcome to Oblivion, asking if you had to choose one thing, what has been your favourite thing in the last 3 months? I think it's, without a doubt, would be getting the parental order. And so the day that we went to court and were finally given our full legal rights as Sophie's parents. Obviously I did a vlog for that day, so I'll pop that in the comments down below so you can go and take a look. But I said it in there, but I think it was the validation, it was the knowing legally that she was 100% absolutely our daughter. Obviously we've always felt that she's our daughter, obviously. But having that sort of legal acknowledgement made everything final and solid and real. That moment was just spectacular and beyond words. So I would say that was definitely it. Thank you for your question. The next question comes from MissJessicaGunn, and they ask, what are her favourite toys so far and what would you like to get her in the next 3 months? So at the moment her favourite toys tend to be teething rings. She goes for those quite a lot. She also has a little bear that has light up sounds and songs on it, which she seems very, very attracted to. And then I recently got her a bigger bear, which is obviously for the slightly older age, and for that one she just loves chewing its ears. She's obsessed with that one. What am I planning to get for in the next 3 months or going forward? I don't know. I haven't really sort of planned anything out. I tend to, whenever we go shopping, I see what's there and go, oh yes, actually, for this age bracket, yeah, I'd like to introduce that into her playtime. I think actually the main one we really want to get, and it's because of a recent experience, she really enjoys hand puppets, as many children do, so we want to get her own set of hand puppets so we can sit and play and interact that way. And I'm probably, you're going to guess this probably, but I will probably look to try and get some Disney hand puppets, hopefully, fingers crossed. The final question comes from Blue Eyed Girl 1992, and she asked, what is Sophie's favourite type of food to eat? This one's quite an easy one actually, because she has made it very clear from her actions what her favourite is. From everything that we've given her, and we've tried lots of different vegetables, but she most enjoys sweet potato. She literally, when we give her that, that's the one that always goes really, really well. The only one that's sort of come a little bit close for her in terms of getting excited about the food and really enjoying it was a sweet corn, pumpkin and broccoli combination, which was quite a surprise to both of us because we were kind of like, that sounds revolting. But she really enjoyed it, but not quite as much as she does sweet potato. If you puree some sweet potato for her, she'll lap that up. She eats it all. That wraps up all of the questions for the 3 to 6 month period. I imagine I will do another video at 9 months, so that will cover the 6 to 9 months. So if you didn't get your question in this time, that's fine. Chuck it in for next time. I just want to say a massive, massive thank you to all of the people that took the time to watch the videos and supply questions and leave comments and likes and all of those things. I really, really do appreciate it. I know at the moment a lot of the videos are very me talking to camera about a week. And it can get a bit repetitious, I guess, maybe, I don't know. Now that Sophie is getting that little bit older, there will be more content coming. I already have a few bits and pieces in the pipeline. I won't say too much yet, but we've got a few plans and things that we're going to be doing. So there will be other content besides the Daddy Diary coming. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, press that like button, and if you want to see more content from me, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, see you soon. Bye!